Hello everybody, Always Sharpers here, back with another video. Today we're going to be playing more Monster Hunter World. Today we're going to help the scholars. Oh, by the way, this is not a fun mission, but we're going to go help the scholars in, well, we just got to help them. But we do get to see a new area, so that's pretty neat. As you can see, we're going to the Wild Spire Waste. It's a pretty neat area. I really like it. It's probably one of the more open ones, I guess. It also has like a little bit more variety than some of the other ones, I guess. But yeah. Okay. Wow, quests load way quicker than on PlayStation. That's crazy. You can restore lost health by using potions. Nice. God, she acts like she's actually doing something terrible. Like, come on. Yeah, this is a pretty interesting place. Look at that dumb face. Nobody likes the handler.
Okay. Got it?
Okay. Obviously, I'm not doing anything because I have to protect them. Don't worry, I don't think that'll happen.
I'm so excited to go out and see this new piece of evidence.
The slag was found in the desert area of the Wildspire.
Yeah, we just gotta, this is a trailing mission, and we just, it's not the funnest, but, I mean, while they're doing that, we can probably go find camps.
One thing's for sure, the environment here is completely different from the ancient forest.
Oh, really now? Huh.
That was horrifyingly close.
Not really, but okay.
Hell hath no fury like a Rathian scorn. Well, like any Rathian, actually.
But she could provide the commission with valuable data. Hunter, I couldn't trouble you for a sample, could I?
Not at all. In fact, now that I think about it, I think we are gonna have to fight that Rathian soon, but I can't remember. I remember fighting a Rathalos, but I don't remember fighting a Rathian. But,
I was aware that Zora Magdaros was an enormous beast, but I am in shock over how gargantuan it really is.
Yes, it certainly seems to
oh yeah, that's the interesting thing. Zora Magdaros is one of the biggest monsters in Monster Hunter history. I do not know exactly how big he is. I think he's like 7th biggest. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 3rd biggest. I actually do not know. I do know who the biggest monsters are. And they are both, not both, well actually they are both, one of them's on the 3DS and the other was not released in the US. So that's very nice. All I'm hoping is that Rise seems pretty neat. But all I'm hoping is that maybe in Monster Hunter 6, which I believe got leaked, I really, really hope they're going to have a just gargantuan monster that you can actually fight. Because you don't actually fight Zora Magdaros in this game. You just kind of walk on his back and just pop his pimples, essentially. Anyways. The biggest monster in Monster Hunter history was in Monster Hunter 4. And that was Dalamadur. Dalamadur. Or Door. Whatever. He is the biggest monster. He is 42,000 centimeters in length, which centimeters doesn't sound like a lot, or whatever. He's really big. He is incredibly big. He is probably taller than this thing right here. And that's what's so crazy. He's the biggest monster in Monster Hunter history. And he's in Monster Hunter 4, which means on the 3DS. You have to fight that thing on the 3DS. The second biggest, which is very similar to Dalamador, he's just smaller, is Laviente. He was in Monster Hunter Frontier, and Monster Hunter Frontier was a Japan exclusive online thingy-majigger. And I believe Monster Hunter Online Frontier, Online and Frontier are different. Monster Hunter Frontier is, I believe it's actually down. I think they stopped doing it. I can't remember if they actually did or not, but I'm pretty sure they stopped doing it. Like around October of last year. Oh look, it's a Baroth. But yeah, I just think that's pretty interesting though. Just because you don't, like, and that's another thing, you actually fight those monsters too. You don't have to go through any, like, BS like you do with Zora Magdaros or even, like, what is it called, Gen Morhuan or whatever? Like, you actually fight Dalamador, and I think that's really awesome, and I really, really want to fight Dalamador. He's, like, oh my gosh. But sadly, he's on the 3DS, and I really don't want to play a Monster Hunter game on the 3DS, because I did get the, I got the demo for Ultimate. Oops. But, hold on. There we go. But yeah, it was interesting. The controls weren't the best. And plus, it doesn't even, the 3DS doesn't even have two, joysticks. So, yeah, I'm not gonna be doing that. Still though, I think it would really be nice if they did something like that. In fact, they were planning, I don't know what it was, but I heard something where it was like they were actually planning on putting super big monsters into worlds, but they just couldn't because of like collisions, or I don't know, they couldn't handle it or something like that. I don't know. It might just be laziness, but in my opinion, world is still fine. But yeah. Yeah, Baroth isn't really anything crazy. Oh, I mounted him again. Huh. Like I said before, I don't exactly know how mounting works, so. Oh, he is really moving around. Yeah. Zora Magdaros is literally just a giant mountain, essentially. Just a giant lava mountain. He is what you call an Elder Dragon. In fact, most of the gigantic monsters in Monster Hunter are Elder Dragons. They're essentially dragons that just don't really follow the ecosystem. And they're just crazy. Like Valtrex, something like that. He's essentially a dragon with literal jets for wings. Like, he literally, like, I believe the description is he exerts dragon energy from his wings to fly around like a jet. And I'm pretty sure he does some like kamikaze stuff as one of his attacks too. He's a very interesting monster. He is in Generations Ultimate. I believe that he was a flagship monster for Generations. Actually, I think the flagship monster is essentially the main monster in a Monster Hunter game. Very rarely is from what I know, very rarely is the flagship monster is the actual final boss of the game. Like, the flagship monster for this game is Nergigante, but he's not the final boss at all. And then, like, the flagship monster for 4, I believe, I do not exactly know. I forget. But my theory is, so for Rise, right, that's coming out like March 28th or something. Oh, he knocked himself down, okay. Is Magnum Nola or something like that? I don't think Magnum Nola is going to be the final boss. In fact, not even close. Because from what I've seen, there are going to be some weird monsters in Rise. There's like a spider-looking monster that kind of looks like, Baal Hazak, and he looks very interesting. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff in Rise, and I'm still debating whether or not I'm going to get it. But yeah, there's a lot of cool things. I'm very excited for the future of Monster Hunter. Just because World, I know not a lot of fans liked World just because of its quality of life and all the other stuff like that. But in my opinion, I think if they can somehow mix the variety and coolness of monsters from all the other Monster Hunter games, and then add all of the, you know, like interactions, the way the monsters behave, the way they look, the way they act, all that other stuff like that, and put that. And I think that's where they're going with Rise, because from what I've seen, Rise is kind of like a combination of Worlds and, you know, traditional Monster Hunter, which I think is very cool, especially since the Insect Glaive sucks in all of the other Monster Hunter games, but it actually is really good in Worlds. I know some people would disagree with me with that. Well, maybe not. A lot of people dislike the Insect Glaive because of how many people don't know how to use it. You're not just supposed to do this. It's fun to do this, but you're not supposed to just fly around through the air because most of your strong attacks come from the ground. And I forgot to get back my traps again. Ah, dang it. I'm slacking. But yeah. And I just feel like it would be pretty neat to see what Rise has to offer. I think Rise is going to be a really neat game.
You did it, partner. Okay, I'll be waiting over by the slab.
You know what's interesting? Monster Hunter is one of those games where it's like you do all of the work and then you get a cutscene and they're like, "We did it! Good job, team!" That's what this game is. I'm not even joking. You beat Charge Valda and then everyone acts like we all did it, even though you literally did all the work. They didn't even do anything. They provided the camp. I guess that's what they did. It's kind of like Animal Crossing, where it's like, you do everything, but then everyone's like, wow, this town is so great because of all of us, and I gave you a chair, so that means that we're best friends now. To be fair, Animal Crossing and Monster Hunter World are two entirely different games, but, I mean, it doesn't really matter. What are you doing with that knife?
Oh, hey,
I don't trust you with that.
glad you're back.
I don't even trust you near hot
Don't worry.
things.
I found a safe place for the scholars to hide. I guess I'll go round them up.
I don't like the way she said that. Don't worry. I found a nice place for the scholars to hide. Let me go round them up. If you saw my character in the real world, you would automatically think that... I mean, I don't know. If I saw my character in the real world, I would think my life is meaningless. This is his world, not mine.
My old friends are well. Praise be.
Who is this guy?
Sounds like the good scholars
I wouldn't
have
drink
some
that drink.
courage amongst them,
Uh...
Are you tracking the monster that dropped that massive slag?
I know this is interesting, but, like... There's nothing really interesting that's going on. They're just talking about Zoe Magdaros. It's just all... They make it seem more dramatic than it is. You know what's interesting? The Monster Hunter movie.
Well,
That's interesting.
been a pleasure.
I don't know if you guys have seen the trailers. It does not look good. The monsters look good. That's kind of it. Apparently they're saying that it's going to stay true to the original game. Or, like, whatever. I don't know if they're talking about the first game. Or definitely not well, actually it does, because the chef from that one looks like it's from World, so I honestly don't even know.
The end of all.
I would think it's Generations Ultimate. I don't know, the dunes in that one looks so similar to Generations Ultimate dunes, but I guess I don't know. Either way, I guess we'll see. I am interested. I do kind of want to see the movie. I'm very curious. Maybe it'll actually be good somehow. But obviously, I have my doubts, especially because of the whole fact that they're introducing people from the army. Isn't that kind of weird? I feel like that's kind of like a cliche almost. Like every single freaking video game movie has to have like army dudes that come into it. Like, right? I feel like that's what it is. Like just a bunch of army guys go. Maybe they find a lab, maybe they find a teleporter, maybe they'll find whatever, and then they'll go. Like Doom, right? I feel like that has that kind of thing. The movie, at least. You know what my Doom movie is? Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. I could watch that all day. Or play it. In fact, it's better to play it because I'm getting more interactivity than watching a movie. But that's like another thing. I like to think that there's no reason for video game movies to exist. And the main reason I say that is because, especially now, like I can understand I could understand why you would want to make a video game movie back then, like 2012 and before, because graphics just weren't that good, right? Like they just weren't as good as what we have now. And I just feel like Uncharted. Apparently there's going to be an Uncharted movie. There's no point for an Uncharted movie. Uncharted 4 has so, like, the best graphics. Uncharted 4 has such good graphics. You don't need to make a movie of Uncharted 4, because Uncharted 4 could pass as a movie, because that's how good it is. There's no point in making a video game movie for that reason. And then there's also just, like, I just don't understand. There is... No, and it's the same thing with Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World has really good graphics compared to every other Monster game. Frontier, that one also has pretty good graphics, and online. But, still, like, this game looks good enough that you don't need a movie. Because that's another thing. Like, movies were a thing because they had CGI and other stuff like that, and it was real world. So it looked cool. You know? But now video games can surpass that. Like Final Fantasy VII Remake. That game looks amazing. Pass that off as an animated movie. Really nice. And another one, you may not think about it, but the cutscenes in a lot of the Sonic games look really good. They could have just done something like that for the Sonic movie. And I just feel like that's another... We should be taking a step backwards. Video game movies shouldn't be live action anymore. They should be animated. And I feel like they would be so much better. Which is one of the reasons, even though it's being animated by Illumination, the Mario movie might be kind of good if they're still doing that. Just because of the fact that, like, it's going to be animated. And as much as I dislike Illumination and, you know, many other people do, like, they're cheap. They reuse stuff, but it's under Nintendo, and Nintendo likes to hold their things dear, so I think the Mario movie might be pretty good, and Illumination does have that animation style that could match something, whatever Nintendo has, their kind of thing. So, yeah, that's kind of my thing. Like, in my opinion, I don't think Nintendo would give Illumination anything, really, to do a Mario movie. I feel like they're going to be just on top of it, and if they don't like anything that's going to happen, then they're going to shut it down. That's kind of it for upcoming video game movies that are really far ahead. Well, there is the FNAF movie. The FNAF movie is going to be very interesting. I don't know about that one. I'm not gonna lie to you. The FNAF movie... I mean, it's going to be live action. Whoa, live action. And honestly, that's a good idea. If there was ever going to be any live action movie for a video game, it would definitely... FNAF is probably the best choice. Because, honestly... I don't know. I think Blumhouse is a pretty... I haven't seen any Blumhouse movies, but from what I've heard and, like, the trailers and, like, everything, I think Blumhouse is a pretty good company for that. And honestly, I think that'd be pretty neat. But also, what else? There was a release, like, the FNAF movie has taken a very long time to finally reach, like, some form of anything, of any confirmation. And then Scott Cawthon finally released all of the screenplays, and honestly, they're really great. Plushies Take Manhattan, that's hilarious. I love that. And I think there's a chance that the FNAF movie might actually be good. Just because I believe in Scott. I honestly do. I believe in Scott. Especially now. Now is the perfect time to release something like the FNAF movie, especially since... Like, that's another thing. Like, Scott regrets releasing FNAF World because of the reason that it just wasn't the right time. Because it wasn't. We were at that time, we were expecting FNAF World to be... Or no, we were expecting FNAF to be something else, you know? I forget if it was released in between FNAF 2 and FNAF 3, something like that. Like, obviously Scott said this. He said now would totally be probably the best time to release a FNAF World. Like he has with his other spin-off games. And I think... like now is probably, or sooner or later, it's going to be the best time to release the FNAF movie. And honestly, I'm excited. I think, obviously, I don't watch horror movies. I play FNAF, I've played Little Nightmares, and those games are more anxiety, disturbance, other stuff like that. But like horror movies, a good horror movie can really mess you up, and I understand that. But who knows? Maybe the FNAF movie might actually be something that I'm curious to watch. Or I am curious to other stuff like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think it would be neat. And I'm just curious to see how they would do it. Are they going to use CGI? I don't think they're going to use CGI because Scott has been posting photos and stuff of what... Like, they're probably going to use actual animatronics, and I think that's going to be... That would be pretty neat, actually. I think that would be pretty neat. Oh, boy. Come on. There we go. Alright. This guy gave me so much trouble the first time I bought him. I cannot tell you how much trouble this guy gave me. It was, oh my gosh, it was so bad. But now I know how to play this game, so plus, you know, I have the defender armor, and that kind of helps a lot too. I need to mount him. There we go. Oh yeah, he gave me water blight. That might not be good. Because it's gonna decrease my stamina even more. Okay, we just gotta get him down faster. He's not moving, so I think we're good. Yep, alright. Neato. I know, like, this, like, you know, I'm fighting a monster right now, and I'm just talking about the FNAF movie, but to be fair, this isn't where the game gets pretty interesting. Like, the, Gyrototus, I think that's how you pronounce it. You know, he looks pretty cool, but he's nothing crazy. Well, too crazy anyways. I believe, yeah, if we stay in the air, then I don't think he can do that much damage to us. Ooh, boy. That was close. I really, because, you know, the Insect Glaive is a very stamina-based weapon. Especially when you're in the air, so it really sucks when you get anything related to losing your stamina. Oh boy. No. Come here. Oh boy. Actually, you know what I think about it? I think they were just lazy. And you want to know why I say what? Okay, so there was a monster. I forget what it's called, but it was a pretty famous monster. It's a monster that it is a water monster that swims, And I hate the ocean and stuff like that, so I think that would have freaked me out, especially since in Monster Hunter 3 and 4, I believe, you could indeed swim and other things like that. And there were monsters that you fought underwater, and one of them, I forget what it's called, but it kind of looks like the Gyrototus, except it looks more like a dragon version of a Gyrototus without wings, essentially. That's what it would look like. And they were going to add it to this game. There's actually, I believe, a model for it. There is a model for it, and I believe there's also a trailer or something like that that shows it off, actually. And they didn't include it because they said there was collision problems because of the way it moved. But now that I think about it, that's kind of weird, especially since the Gyrototus exists, and the Bayototus, and the Lava, and the Lavasioth. So now that I think about it, I think it was just BS. Like, why wouldn't... I don't know. I honestly don't know. I also find it interesting, Rise is going to include, what am I trying to think about? Oh yeah, aren't they like remaking an entire level for Rise? That, it's like a drowned forest or something. It looks pretty cool. Where you going? I don't know where he is going. Having fun there? Alright. Oh, yes! Baroth. That's actually really nice. He's gonna help us out here.
Maybe we can use this to our advantage.
Oh, shoot! Did you see that? Dang! Look at him go. This is one thing that I love about Monster Hunter Worlds. Just the turf wars. They look so much better. Look at them. Oh, they're both tired. Huh. They both got tired. Interesting. Oh, I think he's aggravated at me. Let me just, okay. I just want to grab the material, please. Okay, just keep yelling. Come on. Okay. There we go. There we go. Alright. Whoa! Oh my goodness. He is really angry right now. Hey. Stop it! Oh. There we go. I just needed the red. Can I mount him? I think I can mount him actually. Hold on. Right? Because he's tired. Nope. Unless I just got him at a bad time.
Monster's tired. Now's your chance to do some serious damage.
You got that right. Where is he? There we go. It's very hard to mount this monster because it's kind of hard to tell when you can. Oh, we got him. Nice. We broke some parts. Let me get that tornado slash in because that's what deals the most damage. I also need to collect all these footprints so I can get points. Alright. It's actually nice that he went here because it gives us this. What is he doing? Is he just having some fun? You having fun there, bud? Ooh! Nice! That was really good. Oh, moved. There we go. I knew it. Oh, but he hit me with the water blade right before. Ah, shoot. I hate it when that happens. What are you trying to do? I don't know if you can. You cut off his tail? I don't think you can. Because you can't cut off all monsters' tails. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Okay. Just The Gyarados and the Baroth are actually pretty similar when it comes to... not really, but like... Oh, I gotta sharpen. Fine, I'll sharpen. Because the Baroth can also use Mud to his advantage, and that's what the Gyarados does. That's kind of the only thing similar. I don't know if the Baroth can inflict Water Blade on you. There's a lot of... like, because, you know... You also have to remember that even if I have many hours on this game, these are also monsters that I have not fought in a very, very long time. Because when you get to the late game... Oh, you kidding me? When you get to the late game, you don't really go back to these guys ever, even when you get to Master Rank. There are special occasions where you do have to go back and fight them again, but not all the time. Alright. Should we kill it or should we capture? Actually, I'm curious, can I set a pitfall trap here? No, and I cannot set a shock trap either. Okay, so we're just going to have to kill it. Can do. I actually believe this is the area with the most water. I don't think there's any other area that has more water than this area.
You did it. But I can't shake this feeling that there's something really bad about those thorns.
Yeah, what could be? What could that be? I'm curious as well. Okay. Pretty simple. We did it. We didn't cut off his tail, but I don't even know if you can. Alright, well, we fought 2 monsters today. I think I'm going to leave it here. We're just gonna ignore him. I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.